Self-consciousness can paralyze, turns any life into a trial, where Judgment Day is every day, yet every day we face the world, are forced to carry on, clenched teeth behind a frozen smile. But it doesn't have to be that way, because when we look into the roots of this, we find the fault lies with the symbol, not the thing. So, just a single thing to rectify, quite easily within. So if, for some time now, perhaps for far too long, you've been sure that all your thoughts were visible, felt your feelings on display, thought you could not help but show your mind, well, none of that was true when you first thought it into place, and neither has it been so, no, nor is it now. And if you choose to listen to the end, you'll find you've made the change. For when we move our focus inwards, all becomes quite clear. The cure for this is found in just the place that's least expected, deep within your ground of being. You've dreamt yourself into this state of mind, and so you can dream your way back out again. I'd like you now to kindly close your eyes and, if you would, imagine that in order to escape from all the world for just a while, to get away from all those peering eyes, you decide to hide yourself away. Take some leisure time inside a small, exclusive, private cinema, allowing you to find full comfort here, this place in which you know you can relax in just the way you like to do. Ready now to watch this captivating movie here, the story of a hero who prevails, to view the opening scenes in this intriguing tale, so long awaited, highly rated, here at last, the story where our hero breaks the bonds of misperceived identity and turns their life of dread around, creating new experience, a different reality. And looking up, you see this film begins, as many movies do, with words appearing on the screen. You see, up there, in black on white, quite clearly there, in front of you, words which set the scene for what's to come, for what you're just about to see, to view, to feel, experience and analyze, understand, internalize, make, completely real. And, of course, accepting this, you realize all stories lead through you, your hero's quest, a life made seemingly impossible, with twists and turns and unexpected trials, and yet you find your own way through in such a way your story turns into success. And in this way, our hero then identifies with you. And so, you let this all unfold by seeing these words I say upon the silver screen, just there in front of you. The date, the place, just when and where this drama happens to be set. You see, then read these words upon the screen, right now, right here, before they change and disappear, turning into moving pictures, now revealing, word by word, first steps on a path of new beginnings. And in this particular film, already filling the hugely enormous screen, you see the words you hear me saying now appearing. And each word you hear me say, see now being written on the screen. And as you become accustomed to both seeing and to hearing these words that I am saying, you can begin to wonder if you see and hear the words appear together. Or do you see the words before you hear them? Could it be you see them in the form of words and hear them turning into pictures? It's currently occurring. This scene is being set, and as I tell this changing tale, which comes to life like this, hear all the words you see I say are pictures as you read them on the screen. You hear these feelings form in ever finer focus, finding meaning in the rhythm and the flow, synthesizing senses such that deeper peace becomes you as you grow into this story of these wordless pictures written on the sound of deepening pleasure. You see these words, I was traveling on a train from Central Station when I overheard an interchange, a private conversation of the type you know can transform lives. Please understand, I couldn't help but hear these words of change. The situation proved to make it so, because of how and what transpires, as if, at last, the universe had looked upon us kindly. And since I made the choice to take this all to heart. I've never felt so well. And so, of course, I do believe you'd like to hear this revelation, as I'm certain that you'll hear this story in the way this works for you, this tale of change, experience, inner symbol transformation, brand new feelings for this world, allowing life to gladly flow in every way that's truly real. Now, as our train was just departing from that station, this person, with a rather tired yet anxious face, appears, moving down the aisle, searching for her seat. She looked the way I felt when I got on this train, uncomfortable and out of place, in need of peace and rest, a chance to find that quiet space in which to dream this journey into something so much more acceptable. She finds her place across the aisle from mine, and as she takes her seat, I hear the smallest sigh of faint relief. And then another voice in English speaks and says, "Hello." A conversation joined by fellow travelers, learning of another's world, relaxed and friendly, such that soon I felt I knew them fairly well. But when she spoke of how she saw herself in life, her sense of being her, and all the little subtle ways of putting something I could never see my way to say, succinct and to the point, and how crystal clearly she described the smallest detail of the whole. Perhaps I'd say, in different lives, she might have been our twin. And when she spoke of how she felt, her sense of self just wilt in public places and in private, sketching scenes of all the stresses this entailed, dissolving all her self-belief, killing inspiration, filling her with inner doubt. The end result? A common thing. Complete demotivation was so very reminiscent, familiar, as if taken from my secret vault of memories, unwrapping hidden feelings which before I'd only known as mine. To see my situation painted quite so stark and vibrantly by someone else's words, unfolding and revealing all by captivating details, painting pictures of a life of constant opposition, ongoing struggle, a world of living opposites, of black and white, and up and down, of off and on, and left and right, of sad and happy faces, of debtors' prisons, golden crowns. And then she said, with just a little hesitation in her voice, It's as if my life is like this living dream in which I feel myself to be a frightened animal, a rabbit, bright-eyed with jet black fur, and long ago when left in peace, quite content and uncomplaining, finding out about myself, the world, and how things worked and what things meant, and that was fine for ages, quite some time, in happier days, until everything began to really change, but gradually, and so I didn't seem to notice, not at first. My early life was not like this, but growing up into the world of adulthood, everything becomes extreme. So very little satisfies, as if being forced to choose between two unattractive opposites, yes or no, up or down, black or white, and all of which I saw was clearly artificial, but seems to be the way we're forced to live. Symbolic life of opposites, all laid out in black and white, no shades of grey or any subtle hue at all. So life becomes a chessboard, an unforgiving world of yes or no. A living chessboard over which, in order to get by, I'm forced to move, but being a black rabbit as I am means that when I'm crossing white squares, suddenly I'm starkly visible, leaving me exposed, examined, judged, emotionally vulnerable, a tight, self-conscious state. That what I try to do becomes impossible. My mind goes blank. My self-belief just freezes, so I suffer, or I simply choose to slip back in the shade by moving onto black squares once again. But when I do, I disappear. No one sees me, and I have no presence, no impact at all. It's an impossible choice to make, and the more it goes on, the more tiring and demotivating it becomes. White squares truly are my daily nightmares, always coming up when I don't need them. And yet, I see others coasting along, gliding along, seemingly owning this chessboard of life as if any square will do. Why can't I live like that? Why can't I just walk into town, calm, confident, comfortable in my own skin, unbothered by the looks and thoughts of others, thinking clearly for myself, knowing where I'm at? serenely silent whilst she spoke. Her fellow traveller speaks. You can, and when you do, you'll realize you never need to feel like a black rabbit exposed on a white square again. Not once, not ever, never. Really? Says the woman. I can't see how. You will, her travelling companion replies. Truly? Absolutely. On hearing this, my focus sharpens tightly. I too want to become released from these horribly limiting sensations, and of course you can understand how. But that was later. This was then, the part before, when we both heard what followed on these words as seen appearing on the screen. Her fellow traveller asks, can you describe this animal you dream yourself to be, this black rabbit you feel yourself as being? As if you were describing this particular small creature to someone who had never heard of such a thing. She nods and begins. Okay, well, in this dream, I'm a rabbit, so I'm an animal rather than a human, in that I have paws with claws. I go on 4 legs, and I have a tail, whiskers, and the usual complement of eyes, nose, and ears. I am covered from head to toe in jet black fur, and in this black and white world, it is true that I do sometimes hop onto the white squares by choice to see if I can do it, but generally I have little choice, as life is always painted black and white before me. And so I remain rebuffed, reluctant, really, to realize my potential, my positivity, my proper place within this world. May I stop you there? Her companion interjects. Yes, of course, she replies. So, it's the black fur that's the thing, not so much that you're dreaming you're an animal. It's not the paws or the tail or the whiskers, for that matter. The thing that causes the problem is the blackness of your fur being exposed on the contrasting white squares. Yes, I suppose it is, she agrees. But there's no getting away from the fact that a black rabbit is black because it has black fur, instantly visible on white squares, leading me to freeze, to doubt my abilities. Then I hesitate, then lose my focus and perspective, and then I perform badly, and the next time that I try, my mind becomes completely rabbit conscious before I even start, leading me to not to want to try at all. I see, says the other person, who then asks, Is there a mirror in this dream life of yours? A mirror? She asks with surprise. Yes, a mirror, the other person confirms. Well, yes, there is a mirror, but she pauses and sighs. But it's on the far side of the river, across the chessboard bridge. So you will understand that I'm rather reluctant to go there and to look in it. I haven't looked in it for years. I have little real desire to do so at all these days. And why should that be? Her friendly traveller asks. Because, she pauses and sighs again before. Well, I know this is going to sound strange, but even though I find things really hard, at least I feel I know exactly who and what I am, and that's all I really have. And also because I'm scared of looking in the mirror. It simply reinforces all I feel and all I know about myself. From this distance, I can see the reflection of my black fur, and that's already too much for me. Could you imagine seeing something else? Can you imagine being something else? The person asks. Oh, I can imagine all sorts of things. I sometimes do, but I've still not actually gone across and looked. Could you imagine being so easily self-confident that you're naturally unself-conscious in everything you do? Or perhaps you can imagine being so freely unself-conscious that your personal abilities, your inner strength and confidence just naturally flow, and so become the way you'd like to be. Well, says the woman, I can imagine. Good, the person says. And then this person says, please close your inner eye. Please look within for all those feelings which you know Black Rabbit senses as its being. You can imagine one small detail of this animal, black as night, completely unreflective of the moon, safe and quite invisible, whilst all remains obscured, yet secretively powerful, in such a way you never knew, yet surely soon will be. A graceful beast with jet black fur, whilst sensitive, alert to each and everything, weighing each within the balance, focus always everywhere. You feel the breeze, you sniff the air. Right here and now, inside this gladly easy summer's morning in the meadow. The air is gently warming as the rising sun is welcomed in the open sky above. A river's running water pleases both your ears, and birdsong fills the atmosphere above and all around you. Meadow flower scents can flutter by upon this gentle breath of air, and over there you catch a flash of light. You see your shining mirror bright upon the flowing river's further side, and just beyond your mirror, as you've always known, there's something more appealing than the way you find life now. A way of being all the ways you know you truly can, and not so very long away, hardly far to wait at all. Just across the chessboard bridge, near enough to visit. Some long sought after feeling of particular attraction just to you, something in yourself you'd like to find, and you do feel attractive, and quite naturally so, and do desire to go from here to there, because you know, you feel you can. And so, like every other time before, you do begin to make your way from here to there, towards that promised land. And then, remember, why you always change your mind, because the bridge itself is square and made of stones in black and white, a chessboard pattern. And of course, you know, in order to possess your heart's desire, you would need to cross this bridge, this board, these checkered squares of black and white, and knowing this is difficult, you pause, because, as any person might imagine, and you, of course, expect, a sense of vague uncertainty stops you in your tracks. Right here you see the squares in black and white, and yes, the white squares shine so brightly in the daylight, dazzling your eyes, too bright for rabbit sensitivity. You turn your eyes and shy away, retreating into darkness. But wait, have courage now. With inner strength arising, I say, approach this square of squares, this chessboard on the bridge, symbolic life of opposites, unfairly unreal world, no shades of grey or any hue at all. But there's something that you haven't yet perceived, and now it's time to see. Please open up your inner eye. Look across this chessboard bridge. You see your shining mirror standing there. So focus, look, and concentrate. See this reflection as it is, not the one that you imagine. Look deeply in these eyes you see and realize that what you see is not what you have thought you've seen at all. You see no rabbit here, no, even though you do see rich black fur, 4 legs, 4 paws, your tail, your claws, your whiskers, nose and ears, but because, as you now see, these were never rabbit ears, nor are they rabbit eyes, and no, a rabbit's nose does not look quite like this. So, clearly seeing now, see more clearly than you've ever seen before. You see what's plainly obvious, the only thing to see. That's not a rabbit in the mirror. It's a jet black panther, assured and gently powerful, confidently capable, elegant, attractive, yes, and rather dateable. And having seen, sensation follows suit. So you allow yourself to wear this, feel this, fully sense this truly as this is, as your closer nature, just hidden up till now. Accepted by the evidence your eyes can clearly see, a knowledge sure and certain, as you always had suspected you may be, and how, believing now precisely what your inner eye perceives, and hearing now the sound a rabbit doesn't make. Meow. See this panther, be this panther, leave this shining mirror now, walk across and place a paw upon the chessboard bridge, being you just as you are. Any square will do. Focused and clear-minded, unafraid of black or white, curiously indifferent, so free to walk across this chessboard bridge, explore this space in easy manner, going as you'd like to go, with open face, attention outwards now and always so, for suddenly the world is open and available, brought down to size and shorn of all its might, and everyone and anyone can look at you whichever way they wish. Their interest is interesting, nothing more than this. No fear of observation or inspection, none at all. Remembering your true worth is the equal of all others, and all of this, when thought about, from seeing this and being this, feels right, and is rather unremarkable. Inner feeling has no outer bounds. The timid rabbit in your mind has run its course, has played its part, and now has gone to ground, and no doubt has served its purpose well, returning now to source, whilst panther mind has served its time by sitting, waiting patiently. No need to wait a second longer, ready and ascendant now, takes on your role of being this, consolidating confirmation of this change in inner being, a fundamental alteration in the very way of things. You sense and deeply feel this change in being as you are. You know this inner feeling of the turning of the wheel. A further stage in life becomes accomplished. A fresh new shoot appears atop your highest branch, brings new perspective on this world in brighter, more appealing feel and color, and all because of changes you have made within. Yes, your true form, freed from false imagination, ability unleashed. Now each and every challenge, situation, problem, task, or quest means only opportunity and fascinating interest, recapturing your joy and zest for life. Enthused, involved, you know you can exactly, for all you see and feel was always yours, just hidden, waiting, hibernating, now awoken, able and mature in mind, and thoughtful, caring, kindly attitude. A wonderful occurrence, timely, fitting, right. A never-ending freedom feeling, long thought lost but found again, releasing all potential in a rush of flowing energies, relinquishing self-doubt of every kind. You look and find resources long unused. Inner strength and fortitude become you, rooted, anchored, central in your mind. And assorted, odd, and all forgotten stresses in your life and dreams, the only ones remaining. Feel them fray, sense them all disintegrate, dissolve and wash away for good. Those sharp and craggy corners in your feelings, crystallizing over time, are softening and healing now, rounder inside, outside, feeling now the world no longer an adversary, but part of what you truly are, part and parcel of this world, knowing now through feeling now, inner symbol reconceived, rejuvenated, recognized. And in accepting this, just as you did so long ago, your name, automatic sequence is fulfilled in perfect time. So, also, nothing here remarkable, wonderful and heaven-like. Oh yes, but nonetheless quite natural for you to be. And if you didn't know before, all of this is quite expected. Yes, expected. Always on its way and now arrived. Gladly welcomed here, in every way accepted. Which is why you realize as a fact you've crossed your chessboard bridge. You've left your mirror far behind. That all of this is simply how this is. White squares were your daily nightmares, but no longer are they so, and never more. Dream deeply now of panther being, as you are, and being in this world will be in you. No earthly situation now could daunt you. Black or white, any square will do. So now, it's true, you do walk calmly into town with confidence, comfortable in your own skin, doing all those things you like to do, so fearlessly, in easy, open, unself-conscious manner. Yes, you do. And notice now, the world regains its color and its vibrance, feels as one, no longer split in two, so much more than black and white, yes, every single rainbow hue. A newly different chapter now opens on this life, brings joy and flowing energy, and natural desire to be involved, participate, excited now and eager to get on, and so you will, beginning in this very second as I count from 1 to 10. And as I move towards that number, rabbit feeling disappeared, whilst panther feeling builds, until all restricted rabbit feeling well replaced with optimistic panther positivity, energized and fortified, closely underwritten by an ever-growing feeling of contented capability, as one would. And since seeing this is being this, the hopes and dreams of who you were before is how you are become, as panther now. And you know now for certain how this goes. Panther now forever. Perfect feeling flows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awake, alert, aware. First be kind, and all shall be well. Thank you so much to all those who listened to the end. If you can support me in any way, I'd be over the moon. A thumbs up, a comment, whether you liked it or not, a suggestion perhaps. Whatever you can manage, I'd be grateful. Meow.